morning friends. Today we'll see the method of branch current to analyze the given circuit. So to analyze a circuit stands for to find out current flowing through some element, voltage drop across that element or power consumed by that element. So in a given problem, if I make the problem statement like this one, for this simple circuit, find out the current flowing through 20 ohm resistance. So what are this resistance is there? I need to find out current flowing through 20 ohm. So I will mark say A and B as the terminal of 20 ohm resistance. So if we look at the circuit consists of two sources, one current source with value 2 ampere, one battery with 15 volt potential, and 4 different resistances. Now at first glance, if I ask the question how many loops are there, your answer will be 2. Yes, there are 2 loops. Okay, so that means if I start from this point and if I traverse like this one, I am reaching to the same point. So any closed path which includes different circuit elements and or different sources is nothing but the loop. This is another loop. Okay, that means if I start from this point and if I traverse like this one, again I will reach at the same point. That means there is another loop. But in a true sense, the loop 1 is not the effective loop, because for this one, what are the 2 ampere current source is, it is on a perimetry of this particular path. When I am applying KVL to the loop 1, it is not easier to apply the KVL, since this current source is not having any resistance in parallel with it. Means I am unable to convert a current source into equivalent voltage source. So if you are coming across with such situations, what we have to do is, whatever the branch current is there, the branch current remains the same. Get the point? That means there is no need to assign unknown currents. Already this 2 ampere current is flowing through a 5 ohm. That's why for a given circuit, though it looks to be there are 2 loops, actually there is one effective loop. So I will mark this as loop 1. Now in the next step, I will assume the loop direction. So once again remember, I am not assigning the loop current, because my method is a branch current method. So here I assign the loop direction, and meaning of the loop direction is when I am applying KVL to the loop, this is the direction corresponding to which I have to add different potentials. Now coming to the current assignment for the branches, the current at this particular node, say X, incoming current is 2 ampere. So if I assign this current as I, what the current is flowing through this 10 ohm resistance is 2 minus I. Get the point? So this I current will flow through like this one. Okay, that means here again you are getting the current I itself, because the I is the same current through the series circuit. Just recall the concept, in series circuit there is same current, whereas in parallel circuit voltage remains the same, just the different things. Now whatever the I current is there, that is coming up to this node, in a downward direction you have 2 minus I. Okay, so these 2 currents gets added, and here you will get the current of 2 ampere, which is the given current source. So whatever the current assignment is there, that is correct. Now in the next step, what I have to do is how to apply KVL at loop 1. So when I am applying KVL, once again I have to start from some point, a reference point, traverse in a clockwise direction and come back to the same point. Here, when the current is flowing downward, the potential drop is plus minus. When the current is flowing from left to right, potential drop is plus minus, again downward, plus to minus, and this is minus to plus. Okay. So whenever there is a rise in potential, rise stands for minus to plus, that drop is taken as a positive. So this drop is 10 as the resistance, whereas the current is 2 minus I. Okay, so this much is the potential drop across 10 ohm. Now next is plus to minus, so there is actually fall in potential, so I will take minus. So resistance is 6, whereas the current is I. Again, the current is flowing downward, there is fall in potential minus 20 into I. And finally, what are the batteries there? For the battery, you are minus to plus, so it is plus, that is rise in potential, plus 15 equal to 0. Okay, that means when we are applying KVL to this loop, we got this equation. Now, if we simplify this one, so it is 20 minus 10I minus 6I minus 20I plus 15 equal to 0. So if I collect the terms containing I together, minus 10, minus 6, minus 16 and minus 20, so it's minus 36I. But this 20 and 15, that is 35, I will take that 35 on right side. So minus 35. So let us check one more time. 10 plus 6, 16 plus 20, 36. So with the negative sign, minus 36I, that is equal to 20 and 15, that is minus 35. So you can get like this one. So your I is equal to 35 by 36 ampere. Now if we come to the question, our question is to find out I20. So whatever the I20 is there, that is nothing but I. Okay, so whatever your final answer is there, that final answer is 0.97. Okay, that means if I solve for the I, then I'm getting I is equal to 0.97 ampere. So my answer is I is equal to 0.97. Now look at the current direction. Now current we have assumed like this one, I. So its meaning is, since my final answer is positive, whatever the current direction I have assigned, that current direction is correct. Okay, that means I will conclude the current flowing through 20 ohm, which is nothing but I, is nothing but 0.97 ampere. Okay. Now if in some another problem, if you get the final current I like this one with a negative sign, now the interpretation of that negative sign is, you have assumed the direction like this one, but since the I comes to be negative for the next problem, then actual current is flowing in opposite direction. Alright. Okay, that means under this branch current method, if we recall the steps once again, first step is you have to redraw the circuit. What the given circuit is there, correctly you have to put the values and the polarities and all that. The next step is you have to look for a number of loops. And then you have to mark those as 1, 2 and so on. Then you have to assign the loop direction. Loop direction simply stands for the direction corresponding to which I can apply the KVL. Next step is just to assign the branch currents. While assigning the branch currents, number of unknowns must be equal to number of loops. Now once I complete this assignment of the branch currents, then I can apply the KVL. So if you have two loops, you will get two equations, KVL equations. And by solving those two equations, you can calculate current flowing through required resistance. Here we have studied three different cases. In the first case, the circuit includes only potential sources, batteries. So there is no need to use the transformation, because for mesh analysis, branch current method, we prefer different voltage sources. In case 2, a given circuit includes current source in parallel with a resistance. For such a situation, we are using source transformation theorem to convert current source into voltage source. And for the new modified circuit, we have to apply the KVL. Whereas in the third case that is shown here, there is a current source, but there is no resistance in parallel. In this case, there is no need to use this particular loop as an effective loop. There is no need to assign the unknown. So for a given circuit, only one loop is there, effective loop is there. What I can do is, I can apply the KVL to that loop and I will solve the required problem. That means what is the current I need, I can calculate the current flowing through that resistance. Thank you.